What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Ostowski here of Maize and Brew, bringing you another episode here of Film Analysis. We're looking at NIU offense, 9 touchdowns on the first 9 drives. A lot to cover, obviously, in this episode. 16 plays, unless I counted wrong. Real quick, though, want to give a shout out to all members of the channel. I'll go through the list here. It keeps growing, so sorry, this is going to keep getting longer. Venom, Emily, GDRCO, Ian, Lewis, Sean, Noah, Dylan, Alex, Aaron, Andrew, Sam, Terry, Kino, and Logan. Appreciate all you guys for becoming members of the channel. If you're interested, head over to the channel on desktop. I don't think it appears on mobile from what I've heard, but go over on desktop. There should be a join button next to the subscribe button on the channel page, but otherwise, enjoy this video. Throw a like on it if you do like this kind of stuff. There will be a defensive episode in the next couple days. And beyond that, guys, I appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you later on the next one. Enjoy.
On 2nd and 10, between the tackles, finding some space, down inside the 5.
Counter tray for 16 yards for Blake Corum here. They're actually bringing Eric all in motion here. What they're going to do, they're pulling Zinter. You can see him starting the pull here. His job is to take this defensive lineman. They're letting him unblocked upfield, right? The goal is to get Zinter to kick him out in motion. You have Eric all. He's going to be the lead guy through the hole here. One-on-one block on the outside. You're going to have a double right here. One-on-one block here. One-on-one block here. Hopefully Hayes can get off to get to one of these linebackers flowing to the play, right? You should have numbers beyond that into the safety. That's the guy that's unblocked in this scenario. So let's first look at the pullers, okay? Because they're leaving that defensive end unblocked. It's looking good at this point. This defensive end becomes wise, and he puts his nose in this hole here. So their job's actually kind of flipped here. And what I mean by that, instead of kicking out, he has to kind of be the lead through the hole now. And they kind of merge jobs, Zinter and Eric all, right? Because this outside linebacker, though, he's tunneling to the outside here. He has a chance to blow this play up. If he instead cuts to the inside here, he could have really met Eric all in the hole. Since he goes to the outside there of 99, that kind of helps this play, right? Now you have both Eric all and Zinter taking on 99 here. Eric all has some help in this case and just can continue going down and pushing him this way, where this guy is completely taking himself out of the play. So that's helpful in that regard. On the double here, you got Hayes and Keegan doing a really good job. Hayes is going to get off of this double really well and get a shove on that linebacker. That's really useful. Other really good block is Vistardis. Watch him just absolutely mauling this defensive tackle there, just getting 5 yards downfield, continuing on that block. Really good job. Nothing to report on Stuber either. The only 2 blocks that could have done a little bit better if A.J. Henning stays engaged, Roman Wilson stays engaged. This is possibly a touchdown instead of a 16-yard gain, but excellent job from Hayes. Good job on the pulls from Eric all, and Zinter makes it a big pickup on the first drive of the game here.
Haskins will reverse to Henning. Henning. 40. And out.
Little trickeration here from Michigan. Love to see it. So it's a pretty good concept on the offensive line here. They're just kind of blocking like it's a stretch play, and you'll notice what they're going to do. They're going to let these guys upfield. They're going to let them upfield, but the main thing is let them to the inside, right? You don't want them cutting up to the outside here. That'll blow up this action to Henning, but they're going to see this fake over to Haskins, and all these guys are going to be flowing this way naturally. So the offensive line, they're going to let the defensive line get upfield, right? See Keegan there letting his guy upfield, 99. Everyone's flowing this way, right? Everyone that you see on the defense is flowing. The only guy who isn't is this guy who has the key on Henning on the end around, and that's why they're going to have Vistardis pulling. But the main thing, you see all the hats, all the hips facing this way for Michigan's offensive linemen, and that's just to let these guys upfield, right? The further they get upfield on this side of the hash here, the better off Michigan's going to be, because they will not be able to pursue, right? They're dead in the water. All these guys at the line of scrimmage, good luck catching A.J. Henning, right? This is the only guy who has a shot because this is his key, and he's flowing this way. Vistardis is actually on his way out there. So Vistardis does a really good job. He gets on his high horse, gets a hat on number 6 there. It's a really tough ask for your center to get there. By him just being there, right, him getting out there, that extended this play at least an additional 15 yards, right? you see the angle that Vistardis' presence alone is creating for number 6, making it really awkward for him to track to this play. So that's a really good job from Vistardis getting on his high horse, getting out there. Now, the only thing that stops us from a touchdown is number 4 here, this defensive end. He doesn't know he made the play here, but by him tracking this way, it's kind of blocking Vistardis, right? There's nothing really for Michigan to do in this scenario, but he just kind of chips Vistardis on accident on his pursuit to the play, and that just gets Vistardis a little bit from getting purely around number 6, getting his head around. So that kind of saves the plays because number 6 does make the tackle. Plus points for Sanders still on the block here on the outside, and it's a huge pickup.
4 plays of 10 or more yards. This might be another one. How about that shifty?
Haskins with the fancy footwork picking up the first down here. This is power. So let's look at the offensive line first. You're going to have multiple pullers here. We'll look at them second. Okay, so on the backside, Vistardis is pulling, but backside here, you're going to have Zinter and Stuber one-on-one blocks right here on these 2 guys. Their main objective, don't let these guys through, right? Get your hat to the left side of them. Turn your hips towards this sideline, right? Try to get them to come this way to the outside of you, and your job is done. So both of those guys do a fine job. You can see the hips turn in that regard. Hat to the inside. They both do really well there, so good job there. Looking at the combo blocks, you're going to have Keegan and Hayes right here on this defensive tackle. Hayes is just chipping, and then Hayes is getting out to the second level. Keegan gets beat here, all right? One of the rare times I've said that. You can see good rip move by that defensive tackle. Luckily, Haskins is already through the hole at that point, but Keegan does lose that block. It is a good chip from Hayes, and Hayes does a really good job. Boom, there's your chip. Hayes engaged with this guy. He stays locked in with him throughout the play. Big reason this play is successful is because of that block by Hayes. He even turned him back 180 the other direction. So it turns out Haskins cuts right off of the butt of that second level block. So really good job from Hayes there. Keegan got to do a little bit better. Okay. Last guy on the line, Honigford. Get good pop off the initial line of scrimmage here. Continues to drive this defensive end. Stays engaged with him right here. Really important, right? Number 4 is trying to disengage with Honigford. He's not letting him. So that's 5 yards downfield. That's a clear win for Honigford. Good to see him out there and performing well in this regard. Okay, what went wrong with the polls here, right? You got 3 different guys. What you should have is Roman Wilson with a kick-out block here of this guy flying upfield. I don't know where my cursor went. That was weird. You should have then Vistardis leading the way through the hole, and then Eric All leading behind that. What actually happens, Vistardis chooses the wrong guy. Roman Wilson picks him up as well. Luckily, this guy is just completely vacating this for some reason, and that creates the opening for Haskins. The rest is just Haskins doing his thing with the fancy footwork, manufacturing some yards.
Koram follows all and gets right into the end zone.
Down G, Koram gets a touchdown. This is down G because you have the play side guard pulling. He's going to pin on the outside onto this fellow. You have the lead blocker, Eric All, serving as fullback here. He's going to come off the edge here, pick up the first guy he sees, block him, and Blake Corum just cuts off the edge there. On your backside blocks, all right, everything that on the backside that they're doing is just don't let anyone through, and they're just going to cut. Just cut. Create a massive humanity on this side, and you've done your job. Okay, so let's watch the backside first. Boom, there's all your cut blocks. Don't let anybody in, and good luck, right? They just create this giant pile. Nothing's getting through there, and that's all you want. I guess a little bit tougher of a job. Vistardis has to get his hat over to this guy. Again, just a reach, and in conjunction with that, you're going to have both Hayes and Trent Jones in here blocking down here to cover this gap that's left from Keegan as he pulls, right? So you have a tough block from Vistardis to get his hat across that gap. He does a good job there. Hayes helps cave that in, right? There's no gap there by the combination of Hayes getting there, Vistardis. It's a good job. And Trent Jones doing a really good job showing this fine gentleman all the real estate available down the goal line, and he just takes him for a ride, and there he goes. He's off screen. So Trent Jones, making an impact there. That creates this quite a bit of a cavern here on the right side of the hole here. And then let's look at Keegan, right? Keegan does a great job here on his pull, pins in this. I like how he turns his hips, right? Boom, I'm engaged. Turn his hips inside. Not only do you have Trent Jones just taking this guy to Mars over here, but he does a good job turning him inside, pushes him here. The only way for this defensive lineman to make any impact is upfield, and that's not an easy play. Keegan's in a really great position. Next block here, Eric All, right? Off the butt here of the puller. Does a good job getting a hat on 45. He doesn't have to do a whole lot, right? Just get your head inside. Boom, he does that. And Koram with a nice cut, appropriate cut inside, mulls over the safety for this score.
Final play of the first quarter, popping it in front. Second time that Henning has come across to get it, and he's got some room.
Henning with the big pickup on the end around. Let's first look at the front side blocks here from both Honigford and Zinter. So their job, turn your hips inwards. Don't let these guys upfield. Don't let them interfere with the horizontal movement here for Henning. Just don't let anyone in the backfield, and you'll see these two guys do a good job at doing that front side. Some of the more important blocks on the offensive line there. You can see, boom, nothing affected Henning on that. Similarly, you're going to have both Hayes and Filiaga working across the offensive line here. Again, just don't let anyone into the backfield. Don't jeopardize this movement. And they work down the line of scrimmage as kind of that stopgap, and nothing really gets through. So good job from them. Only other guy in the backside you could say is Schoonmaker, just getting up to the second level. He's eventually going to get to the safety. He does a really good job throughout the play as well. You can see him get a chip there on the defensive back, and by the end of the play, he's blocking the safety. So he does a really good job there. What happened there? My editor went crazy. Okay, now let's look at the pullers, okay? You have Haskins and Stuber out in front first. Stuber recognizes, okay, I got this guy. Haskins taking on the defensive back. They're going to completely erase these two guys on the edge, okay? I put X's there. I should put little explosions because they both just absolutely destroyed those guys, right? This is what is left of those two defenders. Really good job from those two. Vistardis has the toughest job on this. You can see him 58 here. I think one thing he could have done, he could have probably stayed a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage here. He gets a little bit too much depth, but he does have to read based off of what Stuber and Haskins are doing. So it does require a little bit of patience. He does a good job identifying number 2 here. This is the guy he needs to block. So he does a good job identifying that, making it, and he does get a body on that. The only other block I'll mention, Sainer still, if he stays engaged with number 9 here, could be a bigger play than it was. You can see number 9 does become disengaged there. He will eventually make the tackle. There you have Vistardis making contact. Number 2 buys Henning a couple extra yards, and really good patience from Henning to wait for that block before turning on the Jets.
Words as well, but O-line tight end's doing a great job creating gaps.
Here's the 12th run of the day, and breaking free, Blake Corum.
We might be in Second City, Chicago, because there is some improvisation going on here. You like that little joke? Okay, so defensive line is slanting hard this way. Okay, so I'll mention that. You also have this corner blitz. I'll get to this in a bit. But with all this slanting, instead of on this counter tray, instead of leaving this guy unblocked and Stuber getting up to the second level, what he's going to do, he's going to ride this defensive end here, and you're going to have similar blocks for all of these offensive linemen, okay? They're going to follow kind of just one-on-one blocks with all of those slanting defensive linemen there. So that goes not only for Stuber, but you got 65 there, Zinter, you got Vistardis and Hayes there. You can see kind of this wall forming with all 4 of these guys. They turned their hips this way, pushing them away from this play or upfield, right? So that's creating this kind of this left side of the hole here. So the issue is you got both these linebackers still available. You got the cornerback coming off the edge. You got a pulling Chuck Filiaga, and then you have Eric All coming across the formation, right? So instead of getting to the second level, obviously Stuber had to take that defensive end down. So that just makes things a little bit different, right? This linebacker is kind of becoming the defensive end here. So it's a good job from Filiaga to recognize, okay, I got to block this guy, kick him out. He is my quasi defensive end that I take out in this scenario. Eric All, he has to be seeing this cornerback, but he has to think, okay, my goal here is to be leading off of this block of Chuck Filiaga, lead through the hole, and this middle linebacker will be the target of that block for Eric All. He ends up flattening him, and just kind of a dual block between Blake Corum and Eric All there. Good balance here from Blake Corum, getting his feet up away from that cornerback, right? He just misses, and number 12 should feel bad because he can't miss that chance. And then the rest is just Blake Corum, right? Good blocking downfield here. Sainristil, you got Cornelius Johnson, Dalen Baldwin doing a good job harassing number 14, and it turns out to be a big play. But Koram gets the A+ on this one.
From Northern Illinois, deep.
McNamara completes it at the 10, stop it on a dime.
Cornelius Johnson, nifty move here on kind of a quick out, looking at the offensive line blocking. Everyone's just taking a step to the right here, just ensuring that on the short rollout here, nothing gets through. Key block here that Blake Corum needs to do a bit of a better job on this outside linebacker rushing. He dips inside here off the tackle here. Blake Corum, I think, just needs to go off of the butt here of Stuber a little bit better, right? This block right here is happening. Just want to make sure, if he goes around this, it's not that big of a deal. So Blake Corum, I think, should just kind of plant himself here and then follow if he does go upfield. But this guy shoots the gap, and luckily it's a quick pass here, right? But say there's an opening to Sainristil on the flag route here instead of to Kojo. Could be a different story, right, with this guy breaking through. So Cornelius Johnson, really the only guy who doesn't do a great job on this play, doesn't end up costing anything, but something just to watch moving forward. Looking at the routes, I mentioned kind of the flag route, wrong color, flag route that you'll see out of Sainristil here. You'll see kind of a little bit of a rounded out route here, and then a post route here out of Roman Wilson at the top of your screen. So just a easy 3-route combination. It's kind of a flood route combo, I guess you could call it. And just a nice recognition of the off coverage here of the cornerback on Cornelius Johnson. That's going to open things up. Main thing after the catch, Sainristil recognizes right about here, okay, he caught the ball. Sainristil should be turning around and blocking right away, right? If he gets this block, all Kojo needs to do is beat his one guy, which he does. You can see Sainristil loses track of his man, number 7, ends up making the tackle here. So Sainristil should do a little bit better job blocking there, but it's still a really successful play. Good job from Cornelius Johnson manufacturing his own yards, making number 14 miss after the catch.
McNamara 5 of 8. Going back to the air, first down. Good throw out wide to Roman Wilson, his first catch.
Little hitch route to the outside, Roman Wilson, Michigan, and kind of max protect here, keeping in holding forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Donovan Edwards in here for pass protection. That's 7. Nothing too exotic from Northern Illinois. 1, 2. They're actually going to bring this defensive tackle inside here a little bit. And here's your 4th rusher. They're bringing the cornerback here. Good recognition. You can see the eyes already going out towards this block, so they have it accounted for at this point already. Good job from pass protection. No one for Donovan Edwards to block, and that's just a good pocket for Cade McNamara. Is all the time in the world to make a decision here. So if he had recognized the corner blitz, you could argue that this pass to Dalen Baldwin on just a short hitch, right? This guy has to fly up to support this. This could be a quick pass if you're looking for it. Based on the body language of this guy, you can see the eyes. That's where Cade McNamara is looking right away. Based off of that, that hitch is easy money, right? This guy is running. He has to flip his hips the entire way, because right here with this outside release, I should say outside turning hitch route, this guy would be running upfield, have to turn all the way around and get to that. That's just not realistic for him. So that's your first read for Cade McNamara. It's the right decision. You have Eric All kind of going on an in route here around the sticks as well. But good execution, right? First read was apparently on that guy. Good read of the body language, good timing on the pass, right? The ball's already out at the time of the break in Roman Wilson's route, and it's just an easy first down, right? That's an easy 14 yards you'll take every single time.
The ball effectively, already 122 yards, second down and 7. McNamara again with a deep ball. This time incomplete.
a ball I think that should have been caught, but just really a smart play again here from Vistardis, right? The initial clap gets this defensive lineman to jump off sides. I don't actually see the flag at the top of the screen. This line judge should be the one who throws the yellow flag here. I don't see it, but this guy is clearly off sides. Really smart from Vistardis. You'll see right after he snaps it here, he's going to point. Boom. You're wrong. You're offsides, right? So he looks at that, and then the next thing you'll notice the eyes of Cade McNamara, right? He's looking, where's this flag, right? Boom, you had the point from Vistardis. Let's see, is there a flag? I think it was thrown. It's probably just not the best quality. The flag may be on the white sideline there as well. So then you'll have the eyes of Cade McNamara shift to your one-on-one deep shot there with Dalen Baldwin, right? You also get, it's one-on-one coverage. That's a good battle. Give your guy a chance. Also get the what I'll call a questionable defensive pass interference call there. We'll judge that a little bit later, but that's what you do. You get a free play, go for the deep shot, right? So looking at the pressure, just four-man pressure with the outside linebacker blitz here, pretty straightforward. Michigan does a really good job dealing with these rushers. You keep Blake Corum in here for pass protection, so it's 6 against 5 in terms of numbers. Good recognition. You got Zinter here recognizing, hey, this guy's coming. So the numbers are accounted for on the blocking. Stuber here, Vistardis here, boom, boom. And you have Blake Corum also recognizing that as well. In terms of the routes, not really a whole lot to go into. Just kind of an inside release seam route, one-on-one route on the outside with Eric All. Don't really know what Roman Wilson is running. We don't see him. He's probably doing an out route or something. Or no, he's just doing kind of a similar fly route. But I think Dalen Baldwin should have caught this, right? Hits him right in the arms. I think he had a shot right here, right? There's the arm pull. That's what gets called. But it was right in the breadbasket for Baldwin. And I think he should have came down with this ball regardless of the PI.
Physical on the guys whenever they're in pads. It's definitely paying off.
Coram made one-man miss. Stiff arm. First down.
Split zone, but there's an issue here on numbers, okay? If we're counting here, this is 7 people. These are 6 blockers. That's not good when you run into the box, right? Boom, split zone. What's going to happen? Okay, the issue is this guy's blitzing, all right? And you have Zinter releasing free to the second level, except he's going to this backside linebacker. He should recognize this is my number one priority, right? If you're releasing to the second level, take out the guy who's blitzing. Backside guy, sure, let him free. You'll figure something out, okay? Let's focus on Zinter there, right guard. He continues on. He does eventually pick up this block, right? But look, at this guy's in the backfield. That should be a tackle for loss, okay? So that's the main concern of this play. Let's look at the backside offensive line. Vistardis, Filiaga, Hayes all do a really good job. This defensive end actually does an admirable job kind of working back to the second level to try and make a play, but Hayes just continues on him. You can see both Vistardis, Filiaga, their guys are completely out of the play here. But there's Hayes on the top of your screen now, right by the numbers. Bothers his guy enough to receive a stiff arm after that, journey from Hayes. Okay, we mentioned Zinter already. Does successfully get here, makes this block, right? Moving on, boom. He does make the block on 38 there. And then you have Stuber. Stuber does a good job on the defensive end. Recognizes number 2 is an issue. Tries to help with his left hand here. Maybe gets a little bit of a shove on him. Doesn't seem to be the case. And then only other block here is Eric All coming across the formation. He's going to pick up number 5 in charge of the D gap coming to the outside. Good kick out block there. Nothing wrong with that. So the rest is just Blake Corum, right? Straight up. You have one unblocked guy at the line of scrimmage. What do? Stick a foot in the ground, make that guy look silly, cut back outside, stiff arm this gentleman to oblivion, pick up the first down, truck number 12. That's why he's your leading rusher in the Big Ten and one of the best in the country at this point.
2:06 left as Michigan starts at the 10-yard line. McNamara, he's got Johnson. Cornelius Johnson, kiss him goodbye.
Cornelius Johnson just with a beautiful double move here. All right, Michigan's keeping in max protect, right? You got Blake Corum. He's going to pick up a blitz here from the linebacker. NIU is initially just sending these four. They're eventually going to be sending these linebackers, this guy in a super late blitz. So technically you do have the numbers here with Koram here to protect. You can see there's the initial four. Then the linebacker just comes up. He's probably one-on-one with Blake Corum, recognizing he's staying in, so that frees him up to rush. Seems like it's probably just a delayed blitz for these two guys. Michigan has the numbers on this side. You have one extra guy over here, Filiaga, I believe that is. It's either that or Zinter. That's Zinter. So you will actually get a free rusher here at the end of the play, right? This linebacker is coming up the middle. You have Koram taking care of this guy, but this guy will get a free rush. Luckily, at this point, it's towards the end of the play when Cade McNamara is throwing the ball, so pass protection isn't an issue. Everyone else is handled. You can see this is a pretty clean pocket at the time of the throw. Allows for the double move from Cornelius Johnson to develop really nicely. So looking at the actual routes on the outside, just a simple fly route top of your screen, crossing route from Eric All. Then you're just going to have this nasty kind of like little hitch and go route from Cornelius Johnson down the sideline. And man, is it a beauty, right? So plenty of time. There's a blitz pickup from Koram. He picks up the important guy. Other linebackers coming, and you can see Cornelius Johnson just absolutely dusted his guy, right? So let's fast forward here. Touchdown. Woo! Let's go back. Here's the all 22. You can see the best thing. I thought I had another angle of this. Anyway, you can see just the phenomenal head fake here. So not only does Cornelius Johnson bottom of your screen there, he decelerates, right? Right here. This is a difference between what makes this route work or not, right? His head motion looking this way, that's what sells this guy that, oh, he's going back towards the ball, right? Without that head motion, it's just kind of a slowdown, and he may not sell it as well. With that head fake right there, that really gets that cornerback to completely stop, right? Look at his footwork. He's completely decelerated. Cornelius Johnson, I like what he does here too. He looks like a sprinter getting off the blocks, right? He recognizes after this hitch, he has to get on his horse. This is where he has the advantage. And one subtle thing he does here, notice how he goes back inside, okay? Not only is he like staying here, he realizes he's made up ground. So create some more space for yourself, right? Cut off this guy who's chasing you, cut him off. Create some space, go back inside, and then start looking back for the ball where you have a wider area because you went back inside. So it's cutting off the cornerback, using that advantage, creating more space between yourself and the sideline, and then he looks back, and it just happens to be a perfect throw. Good balance, good speed, and that's a nice touchdown.
Five-star who spent last year at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He hands it off, and another
Haskins, man, he's just too good. All right, looking like a little split zone. Thing I want to call out in this one, Baldwin coming across the formation here. What that does, that's rotating number 12. He becomes the high safety. This is a cornerback, I believe. So what this does, this forces your safety out here, out of the play, really, and then your one high safety is now a cornerback. Not ideal for run defense, right? So that's created by this motion. That's the matchup, and that's eventually going to be a one-on-one matchup between him and Haskins, and Haskins will win that battle. Okay, looking at the actual blocking, let's look front side here, one-on-one with Stuber here, tight end. I think this is, I don't know who this is, Schoonmaker maybe. One-on-one play side. Good job from Stuber turning his hips to the outside. That's Eric All, the tight end. They just get their blocks, right? These two guys aren't really a factor in this play right here, so they're completely out of it. So that helps create kind of this side of the hole. Why is Keegan where he is? So it's supposed to be a two-on-one block here between the center and the guard Keegan. This guy's flying upfield, so Keegan's going to abandon this pretty quick and just ride his guy upfield, right? If he wants to continue upfield, go ahead and do that. He's taking himself out of the play. So you'll see that. Boom, abandon that double. Make sure this linebacker is escorted out of the way, and look at how big of a gap that creates, right? This hole is just massive because this guy completely eviscerated that without any sort of kind of just with reckless abandon. Now the key block here is going to be Vistardis. Really, really tough block for him, okay? Because he has this guy, look, he's a full gap over, right? He has to get all the way across here, especially with this guy blitzing this gap. Vistardis has just a really tough job. I don't know what happened to my tool here. Are we back? What happened? That was weird. Okay. So he has to work all the way across and try to seal off, get his hips around, turn that. That's really tough, especially with as I mentioned, Keegan having to kind of abandon that. You can see him right here. Boom. Notice that leverage here. He's really just extending his left arm there, trying to get around, and he swings his hips perfectly there, and that's the key block that really springs this play forward. On the backside, you have a 2-on-1. You have 3 guys here, 2 defensive linemen. They're just trying to get movement here. You'll have Zinter trying to get to the second level onto this linebacker. If he can hold this block, this could have been a touchdown. That guy is, kind of flowing to the play. You can see Zinter now he's getting to this second level right here. If he can hold this, then there's a really good gap here, just a one-on-one battle with this with this cornerback, now the high safety, and then you could possibly be gone. Unfortunately, Zinter's not able to stay engaged there, and that guy eventually does make the tackle. Nothing really else backside to mention, but because of that motion, again with Dalen Baldwin, nice cut here from Haskins going off the butt of Vistardis, and then there's your one-on-one matchup, right, with a cornerback playing safety because of that motion, dust him, and it's a nice 15-yard pickup.
He's going to get his reps. As a competitor, of course you're frustrated. You want to stay in the game, but...
Look at this. The electric speed of Blake Corum. He turns...
Really, really love this play design. I think this is called dart in certain circles, but it's all a pre-snap read of what the numbers look like with this bunch formation, okay? They got 3 defenders on the 3 wide receivers here. The main read is going to be if they have a boundary player, it's usually going to be this guy. What does he do, okay? If he comes for run support, you're going to have numbers out here, right? It'd be 1, 2, bubble, throw the bubble screen, right? Then you'd have a lot of room to the top of the hashes here with this guy coming down for run support. Given kind of the initial movement here, it's an easy run play for Blake Corum, okay? So let's just look at that initial read. You can kind of see JJ McCarthy looking over there, but I think this was kind of called just a give read based on probably just previous play of Northern Illinois in this game or what Michigan thought they would do, okay? So what that does, I love what they do play side here. You can almost just draw a line between, like, right on the hash here on the other side of the center, okay? And what I mean by that is all you care about is really 1, 2, 3, and 4 players, okay? You'll have a one-on-one matchup between your safety and running back down the field, but that'll be past the first down marker at that point. So what you could do is on your backside, just make sure these guys don't flow into the backfield, right? It's either a quick throw or quick handoff. So these guys right here, they don't really matter on this play. So that's why you see the hips of these guys just turn this way, block them. Just turn your hips. Don't let them affect that play going, down the line of scrimmage. You can see they do that, right? They even let them upfield because what's their impact really going to be? Nothing. The further they get upfield, the less likely they're going to flow to this run action. So all good on the backside. Good job of Vistardis as well. Continuing on pestering this guy so he can't flow to the play, right? That guy is out of the play already. So let's look at the actual play side, right? So you got a double here. Between Keegan and Stuber. They're going to double here, and Stuber's working to get to the second level to this linebacker. Key blocks on these 2 guys. Can't let them make a play. That's 2 of the 3 blocked players you really want. So good job. I really like at the end of this play, especially Keegan. He kind of just lets, this guy wants to kind of pull and rip through and get upfield here. Keegan's going to let him, right? Just block him. Sure, you can turn your hips this way, but if this guy wants to go upfield, you let him. If that's his move he wants to go with, you can see, sure, shuck me. I'll just turn my hips, get a block on you. You're out of the play. So good job from Keegan there. And then a really good job from Stuber off of the double, right? Good little shove, and he's engaged with this linebacker. He wins this battle, winning the battle, still winning the battle. That's 10 yards downfield, and he just does an extremely good job. Or I'm sorry, that's Hayes. Hayes, not Stuber. Apologies. Wrong name there. But really good job from Hayes. And then the other block I'll mention front side here is Schoonmaker, who takes his guy into the bench, right? He's got a tough block one-on-one on defensive back. And watch what he does here. Boom, I'm engaged. I'll introduce you to all my friends on the sideline. There's the yard line marker, and he's completely out of the play. So those 2 blocks, Hayes and Schoonmaker especially, absolutely kill it. And then the final piece of this is there's going to leave this guy completely unblocked. Let him get upfield. Michigan's making a bet that this guy is going to beat him before he realizes what the hell is going on, right? Boom, there's a handoff. uh-oh, I'm destroyed, right? You got a full head of steam for Blake Corum going out here. He has to try to make this angle. Unless you have an Aiden Hutchinson out there, that's not going to work well for you, and it doesn't work well for Northern Illinois. Final piece of this equation is just Blake Corum putting on the jets, showing his speed, watching his feet in bounds, and it is a score for 6. Really good play. Really love the design.
Faking the handoff McCarthy. He can run it well. McCarthy down.
You got to slide, man. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. I think Michigan's starting to sub out all of their starters here, so I don't know exactly who is all on the offensive line at this point. But it's a simple zone read, so you're just going to have a bunch of down blocks here going this way, give to Donovan Edwards this way, or the keep to the outside, one-on-one blocks on the outside up here. Main read for JJ McCarthy is just this edge, right? What is this guy doing? And then secondary read, what is this guy doing? Really what they are doing, this defensive end should be running down the line here to cut off any handoff to Donovan Edwards. And this guy should be replacing at the edge here to cut off, just in case it is a keep, cut off any quarterback read there. So watch those two defenders on the edge here and how they kind of mess that up, right? That defensive end is committing, but he needs to commit harder. And this defensive end really needs to commit up to the edge and set that edge. Instead, he's caught going way too far inside as well, just kind of duplicating what that defensive end has done. And now both of these guys are useless, right? They're occupying the same space. They're both pursuing from the same angle, and JJ McCarthy is too fast for them. So this is really more of a misplay where they did have the numbers if they executed it appropriately. It is the right read for McCarthy, given the body language of both of those guys. So at the end of the play here, a little bit better blocking like to see from Sainer still there on the edge. Same with Cornelius Johnson does a good job. I won't blame his block at all. He's still engaged with him, bothering that cornerback. Right about here, though, I would be yelling at McCarthy to just slide. Get the first down, just slide, right? But he sees pay dirt. He wants to get a touchdown. He's going for it. So I can appreciate JJ McCarthy in that scenario, but backup quarterback in a 42-3 game, got to take that slide, buddy.
They're at 34 rushes right now and 13 passes, so pretty balanced so far.
Handoff. Edwards. See ya.
You can see why Edwards is going to be a special player here. So not going to go into too much detail on this one. Couple blocks that really set this up. Double team on the front side does really well here. The tackle will get to the second level on the linebacker. Filiaga's first guy pulling. He's going to pin this endmost defender here. And then you're going to have the tight end coming around the edge. He's going to kick out the linebacker here, form this hole between Filiaga's block and the tight end, and this is the path for Donovan Edwards on the give. So there you can see the double just really creating a huge gap here, and there's the double kind of creating this mess of humanity here. Filiaga pinning the edge that you can't really see here, and here's your final block. I think that's Carter Seltzer. Their good kick out block there, and it's just a little crease, right? That's all Edwards needs. Thing I really like about what Edwards does here, this play takes a beat to develop, right? It's I think you call this counter tray. And because it takes a second to develop, you can see how slow Edwards is kind of approaching it, right? What that does, this safety is taking one angle, right? And that's kind of based on the speed that this running back is going. And then he just kicks it into high gear. And that just completely destroys the angle that this safety thought he had, right? You can see right here, Donovan Edwards, wait, boom, foot in the ground, and that guy's dusted, right? Then it's a track meet. It's I'm going to get to the sideline. You were on this path. You have to redirect, show your agility to get out there, and it's just not going to work against a guy of Donovan Edwards' caliber. So good patience, good reading, good block, especially front side with the double, good pull from Filiaga, good kick out there from the tight end, and that's all she wrote. So just kind of a conclusion here. I didn't write anything down. This is just going off the top of my head. What are my thoughts here on the offense overall? Nice to see Cade McNamara kind of develop a little bit more in the passing game. He hasn't really been called upon, so it hasn't been something that I've been concerned about, but it's nice to see him hit that seam to Eric All. Nice to see him hit a couple deep shots. I just like that he's able to display that and had a chance to get a little bit more experience there in this game, get a little bit more comfortability, right? It's clear the running back game is still going to be the strength of this offense. I don't expect that to deviate even into Big Ten play. That's the backbone of your offense. And now that you have Donovan Edwards kind of establishing himself, he's still probably a year away, right? But you see those flashes, and as a third running back, he is a tantalizing talent to take advantage of. So it's really exciting. Ryan Hayes had an excellent game this time. Eric All had a standout game as well. I think Keegan's coming into his own. Vistardis continues to impress me. Really, it's pretty great, the lack of mistakes that you see in IDing defenders. And regardless of the competition level, that spells a really good future for this offensive line. Mistakes are opponent independent sometimes, and even if the competition gets a little bit tougher, the mental aspect of the offensive line seems to be there. So those are kind of my random takeaways. Take them or leave them. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate you coming by. If you like this kind of stuff, throw a like, throw a subscription, become a member if you really like it. But otherwise, guys, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. Stay safe out there. As always, go Blue.